and today I'm going to explain the concept of encapsulation in object-oriented programming, specifically Java. Okay, so what is an object? Well, an object is a person, place, or thing, and that object will have a number of properties associated with it, i.e. things that you want to know about it. So if you think about it this way, if an object was a dog, so there is scenarios where people have more than one dog. There are generic things like their name, their age, and their breed. So I've got a little picture here of my lovely little dog called Evie, and in my program I want to store her name, her age, and her breed. However, I want to make sure that I make use of encapsulation, i.e. I want to control how people can get access to the data within my program. How do I do that? Well, I do that using a thing known as an access modifier. Now you have private, protected, or public. Now in this case here, you can see that they're set to private. So why have I set them to private? Well, think of it this way. If it was public, anybody could access it. So think of it, if you had a garden and your garden was public, i.e. it didn't have a fence, it would be a field. Anybody can get access to it. Anybody could access those storage locations of those variables and change the information into it, which has specific implications. A user could go in and change their salary. You don't want that. You want to control how people access it. So by making it private, you're essentially putting a wall around it. I.e., think of it as a garden, you're putting a wall around your garden. But then you have the problem of, well, if you put a wall around your garden, nobody can get access to anything. Pathways in your code, open a user gets access to that information, and this is done through getters and setters. So as you can see here, I have a little one that gives you an example of a getter, which is the public int get age, and the setter. Okay? The setter allows you to change the information, and the getter allows you to go in and get that information. So it's really important in object-oriented programming that you control it, because if it was open, people can do anything with it, whereas if it's private, you then are locking that information down, and then you're providing openings to it through your getters and setters. That way you can use it within other classes. So as you can see here, this is my dog class, where I've set all my attributes, I've set my getters and setters, I've set my pathways, and this one is the one that I use to access it. I create my objects, and then I can use access to the information. Thank you for listening.